Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away. And we may have a face mask here right at the start. Flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor. And that's not the start that he was looking for as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a Yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You can't block me.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Got an open man, it's Aitman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch the twitch.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they decided a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice fast start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because when you get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
They run with Hines. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Tackle made by Justin Evans. And we look at this offense now, and Zach Martin will be important for this team today.
He's so good, Brandon, that you can play him at any position in the offensive line, and I think he's a Pro Bowl player at each spot.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Tight down. There you go. Shoot!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it.
Let's go.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson, flushed out right. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Taylor. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long?
He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Lions. 46 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Throwing here, Trubisky finds his tight end Ingram. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. These two teams all tied after 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. He was trying to get it into Watkins, and it's 3rd down.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them. Down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Lions on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you had multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. This is Hines. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rolling to his right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 16.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now a give, right side. Dobbins, only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
But he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Come to me, it's me.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That's complete right around the 8. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Third and goal, Jackson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And Butker able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
To throw again on 2nd down, Trubisky. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Trubisky now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Trubisky to throw again. Throw to the right, caught by Aitman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where you see the final score there. Josh Rosen, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. and it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Marcus Mariota leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky who's looked sharp thus far. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions defense gearing up as they take the field. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the second half, they have been swarming to the football and laying some big hits.
Yes, this is not the woodwinds or the string section at all in the band, is it? Straight percussion, and you can feel the thumps all the way up here. Doing a great job putting themselves in the right spot to make those types of plays.
We got a chance to see some of those thumps. They begin the drive with Hines. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
We got 4. We got 4. Check.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, Dobbins. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson eluding the pressure right. Going for he's got it at the 15. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 47 yards.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And boy, they hit that one.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Jackson, flush to his right. He may try and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have retaken the lead.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield. And find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
On second and 11 now. Trubisky, throw left side, complete. That's Hughes. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Again, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
12 yards on the play. Leads to third down.
On third down, Taylor. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on third and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Back now here on EA Sports. Been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Trubisky will come up here first and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his passes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there to call some of these games. But when you're sitting where they are right now, the playoffs start with this game. They can't wait till next week and say, well, let's see if we're... No, they have to win this one to ensure that they're going to go. So their playoff run actually begins a week early.
By the way, I got my assignment for the playoffs. They have me doing every game.
I like that.
Are you there, too?
I like that. I just hope I'm with you.
I hope so as well. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. It's caught. Smith. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. That one goes for 24 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. To throw is Jackson, dancing to his left. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. From 8 yards out, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Touchdown. Harrison Butker on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would because of
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Throwing on second and long. Trubisky over the middle. He's got Watkins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Now Taylor. And an alley to run. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
34 yards there and a first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Right there. Down, baby.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 36, Jackson, complete. Smith has it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side. Hines. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to run with Hines. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Trubisky readies the offense. Down by 10, 1:11 to go. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 28. Trubisky to throw. And with that last play, he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. One last shot for Trubisky. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Broncos, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Detroit, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew.